Hello and welcome to another Vinny Talk Sayings. I'm your host Vincent LaRose, and today we are starting our 2025-2026 off-season, and we are starting a series, an off-season series, where we recap each and every Yankee that played for the Yankees in their 2025 season, at least any sort of significant time or had any sort of significant role for the Yankees this season. And today, we're going to open up with Cody Bellinger. Just because he had a phenomenal year, and we all know the contract situation, so I'd like to do his video before anybody else's, just in case something happens quick. I know the World Series isn't even over yet, but, these videos are pre-recorded, and I don't want to have to record these twice. So, we're starting with Cody Bellinger. So, as I said, it's a recap. We're recapping each player. I'll give them a grade at the end of the video for how they did and where I see them in the future with the Yankees. So, as I said, let's get into Cody Bellinger. So, Cody Bellinger had a really good season for the Yankees, not just defensively, offensively, wow, as well as we all watched it. So, Cody Bellinger hit .272 on the season, scored 89 runs, had 160 hits, 29 homers, 98 RBIs, 57 walks. He had a .334 on-base percentage and an .813 OPS. He was amongst the leader, like the top 30, top 40 in almost every single stat on, hitting-wise. And there's so many clutch moments you can remember with Cody. At the start of the year, I know he struggled at the start of the year, but the game against the Brewers, where Goldie, him and Judge go back to back to back, that was really cool. His grand slam against the Mets when we were in the Bronx so we could take that 2-1 series win. A couple hits in the postseason here and there, and he's a slap ball hitter. Not a true slap ball hitter, because he has power. But when he gets 2 strikes, his goal is to put the bat on ball, as he tried over his career to strike out much less and walk more, which he was successful at doing. Besides the offensive side, we all know Cody Bellinger was also phenomenal with the glove. I mean, made some insane plays. He could play all over the field. He played left, he played center, he played right, he played first base. He probably could play every position, maybe not, but, he was extremely athletic. He made some great plays. Another memorable play from Cody Bellinger is that sliding grab when he was playing left field, when we were in Citi Field, during that huge stretch where we were slumping quite bad. He throws, I don't remember who he threw out at first. He threw somebody out at first, double play, gets the Yankees out of a jam. And overall, it's just a phenomenal defensive player. Good speed as well. Stole a couple bags, and was one of the leaders on the team this year. So we all know about the Cody Bellinger stuff, and what he did this year and how awesome he was for us this year. So contract-wise, he was getting paid $27.5 million for this season, which is quite a bit of money, obviously. That was ending his Cubs contract. Not ending, technically. He has a player option for 2026, but it's already been announced and reported that he will be declining that player option and seeking free agency, which I don't blame. He's only 31 years old. 31 years old or 30 years old? He's pretty young. He is looking for a long-term contract with good money. Every player is. So it's expected, but it's really just more about the years. He's 30 years old. So July 30th. Yeah, so he will be 30 years old to start the season. So it's expected that he would want some sort of a long-term deal. A lot of people are predicting 5 to 6 years. These are official predictions too, around $30 million a year. I think the Yankees get Cody for a little bit cheaper than some people are going cheaper in the sense of he's going to take less money to play for the Yankees. I think the Mets offer a whole lot more money, but why would you want to play for the Mets? That's incredibly dumb. They're a horrible franchise, no matter who is on the team and who the owner is. And anyways, I'm not going to get into the Mets stuff. But it is a possibility, truthfully, for Cody to go to the Mets. They're going to offer the most money, maybe besides the Dodgers, but I just highly doubt seeing Cody go back to LA. I think he likes being on the East Coast, and I especially think he enjoyed his time playing for the Yankees. He stated that multiple times. But his agent is Scott Boras, so unfortunately he has an agent that wants the most money. So we will see what happens. But my prediction was, I do think this is the one guy we do actually keep. I think Cody just loves New York too much and playing for the Yankees and what it means to be a Yankee, along with growing up in the Yankee clubhouse with his dad playing for the Yankees for a long time. Sorry if I'm blinking so much. This light is killing me right now. I'm very tired, but I think they work a deal out. I think it's going to be six years, about 180, maybe like 186 million or something like that. Give them 31 million a year, something like that. Good money long term, and it's going to cost a lot, AAV wise, but not completely breaking the bank like a Judge, Shohei, or Shohei, whatever, but Judge or Soto contract, something like that. Sorry, but Cody Bellinger was obviously a phenomenal player for us this year. He was just a key role in so many of the games. Like I said before, I know he struggled to start, but the team was hot when he struggled. And when he was starting to get good, the team was not hot. And he was one of the reasons and one of the guys to help us get out of that slump because of his good defensive play and his bat picking up. So he was so close to a 30 home run, 100 RBI season. Just missed out on it. Had a couple chances at the end of the season, but he kind of cooled off like the last week going into the postseason. He didn't play terrible in the postseason. Just, not the Cody Bellinger we obviously saw during the regular season. But Cody's a vital piece to the puzzle for the Yankees. I think he absolutely has to say he can play all the outfield positions very well. He can play first base very well. He's a guy to keep and be good. He hits lefties very well. He had the highest average against left-handed pitchers for a lefty in the entire MLB, which is something he said he wanted to work on as he struggled at the beginning of his career. Cody Bellinger was just so versatile, so good in so many ways. It'd just be a travesty to lose him, and I think the Yankees have to do a lot to keep him. I know the Yankees have to bolster the bullpen, but I think signing Bellinger is going to work out more than even a Tucker contract. And I know this sounds a little bit crazy because Tucker is a better MLB, a better baseball player. Tucker's bat is better, but his defense is nowhere near Cody Bellinger's. And I think Cody, in whole, holds a little bit more value. I know Tucker has been a lot more consistent than Cody Bellinger, and I could be completely wrong. We could give Cody Bellinger that 6-year deal, and he'll only be good for 2 in the last 4 years. We're sitting here paying, wow, we got to pay this guy $120 million to suck, which is very possible to happen. And Kyle Tucker has been consistent every single season of his career, besides the one season he was injured. But anyways, I do predict he goes back to the Yankees. When Juan Soto left, the Yankees 1 week later, or a couple days later, in fact, traded for Cody Bellinger. They got Cody Bellinger for Cody Poteet. I know the Cubs were dumping, but how much better would the Cubs have been if they kept him and just did what they did? Granted, you're kind of replacing him with Tucker. I don't think they had both, so whatever, say what you want to say, but just imagine, Cubs fans. Anyways, that's Cody Bellinger. That's really all there is to it. That's the explanation of his season. We all watched what a wonderful season we had. We know how important he is to this team and how important it is for the Yankees to work a deal out. I wish the Yankees were a little more willing to give extensions before the fact. I know Cody Bellinger's in that was just 1 year, so it makes sense, but we missed out on an extending Judge, and we had to go through the whole free agency process. Guy like Jazz, extend him, Just a couple guys. Maybe Rice, give him like an extra year on top of that if he can perform next year. But I feel like they're so afraid to extend guys, which I find strange because they're so willing to spend so much money in the offseason. But that's how the Yankees roll. But anyways, these videos of the player recaps for the 2025 season are going to be pretty short. Some of the bullpen guys that maybe got 10 to 15 appearances are probably all going to be mushed into one, because it's going to be kind of hard to have somewhat of a realistic length video and podcast with some of these guys. So there's some guys I'm going to bunch into the one. That's going to be more towards the end, towards the times where we don't really have much to talk about. Baseball's still going on right now. With the Yankees losing, rumors are flying high everywhere. So we're still on track as of right now. But that was like late December, early January days. January is just a dead month for the MLB besides free agency. So those will be then. But yeah, that's all I got. So as always, thank you for everybody who watched on the YouTube side or listened to on the podcast side. I do shorts videos every day, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. It's Vinny Talks Yanks, and then Instagram is Vinny.Talks Yanks. And as always, I hope everybody has a wonderful morning, night, day, whatever it is, and go Yankees.